Hi everybody, this is Emmanuel coming live from Sydney on the Northern Beaches and live to your Facebook wherever you are, globally or internationally. So I'm from my home today and I'd like to welcome everybody, and today's topic is about authenticity. It's about living an inspirational and authentic life. It's about how do you be you. And how do you increase your levels of inspiration and really give yourself permission to go to that next level. So as always, I'll start off by saying that it's live, so interact. I love talking with you guys, and you're more than welcome to ask questions, like, share, little wow things, love hearts, whatever's absolutely relevant to you in reference to touching base. So if there's something that you liked, let me know. If there's something that you'd like answered, or if this pops up something, so sometimes when I'm talking, you might go, ooh, that reminds me of, or I've got a question in relevance to that. You're more than welcome to ask, and I'll answer those while I'm talking and kind of do it on the fly. So I hope you guys are enjoying these, and share them with your friends once these are complete. By the way, if you've just joined in now, or if you join in kind of a little bit later on, know that you could always just rewatch this later, because this uploads immediately after I've gone live. All right. So today's topic, living straight from the heart. So let's first start off, like I usually do, by defining what the heart is. I'm going to define living from the heart in its metaphorical kind of sense. And it's going to mean that you're living authentically and congruently and highly appreciative of your life. Because I know that when I'm living from my heart, I'm highly appreciative, I'm grateful, I'm loving every aspect of my life. So how do we live from that point? Because no matter what we do as human beings, and I live my life just the same as anyone else, I've got perceptions, and the main word meaning perceptions, of moments where I feel up and other moments where I feel down. By no means in all the study and all of the mentors that I've spent time with and the copious amount of books and working with clients, am I always happy, or I'm always sad, or one side of the other. The duality of life, this complexity of both sides and the way that we perceive life is what makes it exciting. But if you're watching this video, you're most likely going to want to know, how can you increase the quality? How can you increase your appreciation? How can you take that to a next level so that more of what's happening in your life is on the way as compared to being in the way? And I know that that has a drastic impact on your inspired destiny, which is a destination in space and time, when you can learn how to control your perceptions of how you see the world. Well, one of the major aspects in terms of being you is knowing who you are. Out of all the billions of human beings on planet Earth, each one of us, just like our fingerprint, for example, or our eyes, is completely different. So we're here to give something different to the Earth, and we have a different set of values, and our values are what's truly important to us. So each one of us have things that are important that we're to import into our mind and our body and share with the world. And if we don't go out and share that, then the world may never get to see it in the form in which we have it in. So I recently spoke to a client only a few days ago, and she's got a very high value for looking after children. She loves the idea of inspiring children and making sure that they have an amazing upbringing. And when she worked at a childcare center, she noticed that there were 5 or 6 other ladies that also looked at the same position as her, had the same values for children, but the way that they wanted to express and how they wanted to look after the children and what they thought was right or wrong and inspired to teach and not teach was completely different. So what she saw there was all of them had similar values, but nobody had the exact same values to do it in the same way. And that was part of the beauty of life. But know that whatever you're here to offer, if you do not give yourself permission to go out and do that to the greatest degree, maybe the world will never get a chance to see that. And where would we be without some of the Tony Robbins or the DeMartinis or the Oprah Winfreys or the Muhammad Alis or whoever it is that you want to say has done, or Michael Jordan's profound things in this world? Where would we be if they hadn't done that? You know, how many people have they inspired? How have they shifted the way that we looked at the areas that were valuable to them, like Michael Jordan in basketball, or Oprah Winfrey in terms of assisting people, or women and power and all of those things. So know that you have something valuable to give to this world, but you'll only ever give it to the degree that you've learned how to master your life. Because the people that are playing at the top of their game, they've had to learn how to love and appreciate more aspects of themselves so that they can share that with everyone. So one of the first aspects to you living from the heart, and who have I got here? Matthew Pay. How are you, mate? Watching here from Hawaii. I'm getting international viewers. That's always great. I'm fantastic, and thank you for being on board. In fact, I'll be in America very soon, so I'll be flying down to the other side of the world as well. But so who are you as a person? Now, the greatest way to find out is what is truly important to you. And here's a set of questions, and they're excerpts, if you will, from A Values Determination by Dr. John D. Martini. But if you just take the few seconds while I am going through this and answer these questions and come up with 3 real answers right now in your life that are highly relevant to you. So I don't want what you wish your life would be, but what your life really represents. So start by asking yourself, what do you surround your space with? Because whatever you surround your space with, that's what's truly most important to you. So if you were to come and spend time with me, you'd see that I have resources and books on human development and evolution and growth and companies and business. It's all to do with that aspect. So that's what's really important to me. And you'll see that in my bedroom, you'll see that in the lounge room, you'll see that spread across the tables. Everywhere that I can work, you'll find that. And in fact, if I fly somewhere, I'll even bring it on my laptop. So I bring it with me. So that's always within my personal space. See, the closer the proximity of what you're keeping around you, the more value that you have to it. The further the proximity, the less that you actually have an interest in it. So it's going to go from your garage to someone else's house to the tip and the bin and further proximity. But if I have things that are really valuable to you, you're going to want to keep them very close to you. Organic food, drinking certain types of water, all those things, health, they're very important to me. And also my family. My family represents my girlfriend, but also my immediate family and those that I consider family as well. So all those aspects. What do you think about during the day? What spontaneous, inspiring thoughts, not your negative thoughts, but what inspiring thoughts come to you during the day? Because they're things that truly mean a lot to you. So think, what is it that your mind's constantly trying to bring up, like a big screen projector that inspires you and energizes you? Next question, what energizes you? What gives you energy? There are certain things that you can do with your day that if you do them for 5 minutes, you feel like 2 hours has gone past and it's just aging you. And there are other aspects of your life that you could do for 5 hours and it would feel like 5 minutes. So what is it that when you're doing that thing, you're present, focused, reliable, and you truly appreciate? Where do you spend your finances on? So where is it that you're finding the value to actually put your finances into? And the proportion of that may be your bills, but once they're paid, where does that go into? Is it sporting? Is it your health? Is it fitness? Is it eating out? Where is that? Because these things are truly important to you. What books are you reading? What are you filling your mind with? What videos are you watching? Where are you setting your goals? All of these questions are leading to where you may be conscious of or unconscious as to what is truly valuable and important to you. So one of the first things about living from the heart is finding out what's valuable to you. Now, I've mentioned this in previous videos, but if you download the Values Factor or purchase a book by Dr. John D. Martini, that's going to go in depth with a couple of 100 pages talking about not only human values, their effect on physiology, psychology, biology, and what that really means when we acquire that. So I'm going to take my life for example, and I highly value assisting my clients to gain deeper understanding of the universe, themselves, how to acquire mental mastery, overcome their obstacles, and live truly inspiring lives. So if I'm going to live from the heart, it's doing that as much as I possibly can. So that's one of the first aspects, truly getting real about what's valuable to you. And once you've gotten real about that, setting goals on a daily basis so your heart can expand and really feel that you're being authentic and doing what you love and loving what you do. Now, you have 7 areas of life that you may have heard me mention before: physical, financial, mental, spiritual, social, vocation, and family. You're going to want to live in an authentic and congruent state in each one of those too. So write down, either an Excel spreadsheet or a piece of paper or in your phone, set goals in each one of these areas that's truly meaningful and valuable to you. Because you want to make sure that on a daily and a weekly basis, you're just slowly chipping away at these things and living congruently with what's valuable to you. You want to learn how to communicate and inspire others to help you on your journey while helping them on theirs. So quite often when I'm working with clients, one of the first things, and in fact I spoke to a very close friend today, and we were talking about the art of selling, which quite often has a negative connotation, but to sell means to serve in its original Greek Latin meaning. So do I love to sell? I love to serve. And if anything, I wake up in the morning thinking, how can I serve a greater audience and get paid handsomely to do so? So when I give people what's valuable to them and make sure that they're getting all the things that are important in their life, well, I'm getting things that are important to mine and being able to do what I love. That's going to increase my potential to share, not only live from the heart, but share my heartfelt mission with those that are truly meaningful to me and to my clients and more people on a daily basis. So I'm going to basically get paid to be me. And I think that's probably the one thing that I highly recommend. Get paid to be you. Find out what's valuable. Go and serve a large group of people. The more people that you serve, the more finances that you'll acquire and gain financial mastery. But do it in a way where you slowly chip away just doing what you love. Because then it won't feel like a job. And one of my mentors once said, make your vocation your vacation and you'll never work another day again. And I wanted to know what that was about. I really believe that is a reality. I believe it takes time, methodical planning, but that is a reality. We can systemize what we love and share that with great levels of people, find other people who also appreciate that, and help them on their journey. So on a daily basis, I'm asking my clients, what's meaningful to you? What do you want to achieve? And how can I help you overcome the obstacles in the way and achieve those outcomes? So if you want to live from the heart, find other people that you can also assist, and that whatever it is that's valuable to you, when you offer that to them, they get an opportunity to also live from their hearts and get what they want, and then you actually feel inspired to continue doing that. Learn the art of communication. Learn the art of not only understanding other people and appreciating them, but communicating. There is nothing that's there is, but there's nothing that's more profound to me than really understanding how do we communicate, because we're not the only ones on planet Earth. And since every human being has a different set of values, I want to understand how can I effectively communicate to others, because the way that I see the world, otherwise known as my model of the world, and the way that I associate to the world and my language that I use may be completely different to somebody else's. So if I think a message is getting through, it may not be. So to truly learn how to communicate so you can share your message at the greatest degree and have the largest amount of people understand it and bring them on board. Because if you have 100 people helping you on your heart-inspired mission on planet Earth, you can do a lot more than one person quite often. Now, you also want to make sure that you're clearing up elements of your past that you don't appreciate in reference to yourself. You're going to want to be present and focused as much as you possibly can in your life. And quite often, we prevent ourselves from being able to do that when we have fears, shames, or guilts from things that have happened in the past or anxieties of the future. And all of these things stem from us accumulating different bags or baggage, bags that age us throughout space and time. So if you've had things in your past that you believe that you have shame or guilt or anger or frustration or any kind of emotion that's preventing you from really living in the here and now and getting you to think about the past, I would write those down on a sheet of paper. In fact, before I work with any of my clients, just like a surgeon would never do any kind of x-ray or, pardon me, any surgical work without getting an x-ray, I do an emotional x-ray and have a look with my clients at the magnificence of their whole life, from zero all the way through to now. And we look at every aspect from positive to negative so I can get a great indication of that person, what they're bringing with them, and what I'm really working with. That way we can both set realistic expectations. We can have a look at the blockages in the way. We can have a look at the anchors and the things that they're hooked onto in their past that they're still dragging with them. And we can look at what we would need to pave out of the way in order to clear their conscious, in order to clear their psychology and their physiology. So if you take out a sheet of paper and you wrote 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, went all the way through to now, and clearly wrote down all the extreme positives and infatuations that you're scared of losing and all the extreme negatives that you have from the past, you get a very good indication of the areas that would be wise to work through in your life so that you could clear them and be really present in the here and now. So I find that to not only be important, but something I spend at least 10 to 20 minutes every single day making sure I work through so I can appreciate at the highest level the magnificence of my life, but also be truly focused on the here and now and appreciative. So that's something that I think will allow you to live very much from the heart. I know in the past when I held on to different things and had shames and guilts from what I did, I overcompensated and undercompensated, put other people in front of me, put myself second, or put myself above other people and put them second. And all of those things had drastic effects on the relationship, some of which I still have, others in which I don't. But the minute that I started to create much more of a balance and ask, how can I help others while not sacrificing myself? And how can I help myself without sacrificing others? And I found a way to create win-win situations. I had this amazing and beautiful self-worth and other-worth, and both of those increased. And I found that I was able to just take my journey and my mission, my appreciation for every aspect of my life, and really take that to the next level. So have a look at your life and learn how to be appreciative for the whole thing. Some of this may seem very different in terms of what I'm saying or blasé. So if there's any of you that do not understand how you can let go of things from the past forever, not temporarily, but emotions and associations, you're more than welcome to touch base with me and I can go into further detail. Obviously, I'm not going to go into too far into this video because I want to stick to the topic. But if that's something that's relevant to you and that's going to help you move forward and that's going to help you grow in all 7 areas of life and finally move towards the outcomes that you want, you're more than welcome to do that. So clearing up your past baggage and getting clear about that, getting direction on what it is that you want and who you are. I believe that we're all here to live authentically and congruently with what inspires us. We're here to live from our heart. We're also here to understand that the mind and the heart work hand in hand, and both of those are here to assist you and understand the feedback in which both of those give. So I'm not going to promote just living in a kind of blasé space and just quitting your job. I'm going to say it's a perfect mergence of heart and head, and the combination of those two that allow you to move forward in life and have realistic goals but feel fulfilled while you're doing that as well. So to everyone that listened, thank you very much for your time. To Matthew Pay, thank you for joining in all the way from Hawaii. I hope you got some amazing value out of this. There's no reason why any human being on planet Earth should experience mental disease and disorder for large periods of time, like days, weeks, months, or years, when you could touch base and we could connect and cut that down to mere hours. So for those of you that would love to connect, inbox me and let's talk. Otherwise, comment below, share with your friends. Enjoy an amazing and inspiring weekend, and I look forward to being live for you guys next week. Ciao.